your T3 is like the high octane fuel. A lot of people will have some thyroid symptoms. They'll feel lack of energy, malaise, and a lot of brain fog. Thymosin Beta-4, I really like this one because it can help with muscle soreness. So that promotes tissue regeneration, improves vascularization, reduces fibrosis in the thyroid. With cruciferous vegetables, this is really critical when it comes to your thyroid function, is you gotta lightly cook those. If you have that leaky gut or digestive dysbiosis, you're gonna allow different proteins to get into the bloodstream. That's gonna land in your thyroid. You get the immune system all aggravated and attacking your thyroid. Welcome everybody to the Health Accelerator Challenges. This is Cade Archibald, and I am really excited to be back. It is 2025, first hack of the year, and I'm excited. We're going to be wrapping up with our Optimal Thyroid Series, and so we got some really cool content. We're going to be diving in there, and I'm just really excited to be back. It's been a couple weeks through the holidays. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful holiday break and New Year's and Christmas or whatever holidays you're celebrating. And yeah, but really excited to be back here with you all. So in the chat box, if you're joining us live, type into the chat box maybe some different wins that you had over the break, as well as a big one is what are your 2025 goals? So let's hear some health goals for you. I'm working on getting a full-blown six-pack this year. That super defined. I'm getting definition there, but that's one of my vain goals this year. And then I'm working on endurance. That's another one. I'm gonna trim down my mile. I got some big health goals this year. So I'm interested to hear what health goals you have, and make sure you got a strategy for those. Oh, nice, Sergey. Hey, Sergey. Use sauna for 30 minutes every day. Beautiful. Love that. Awesome. Well, so we're going to resume our content that we were just about wrapped up last year. And that is on optimal thyroid function. So we'll go ahead and hop in there and really, I think, we went through each week was different thyroid and energy activation. So week one, so that was in November. We were talking about assessing your thyroid. What are some different ways to look at there? If you see some opportunities in your thyroid, so if you're some of those TSH, maybe your T3, free T4, or your thyroid antibodies are elevated. That's where you definitely want to create some optimization in your thyroid. And then week two, we went through, and I'll share my slides with everybody so you can see what we're going through here. And so we'll cover the optimal thyroid. So talking about week one, assessing your thyroid. Week two was that phase one, reducing inflammation, improving the digestive health and gut health to really stabilize the immune response. So we can reduce that immune reactivity to the thyroid, especially. If your immune system is not working optimally, that's really going to impact your thyroid. You can, if you have that leaky gut or digestive dysbiosis, you're going to allow different proteins to get into the bloodstream. That's going to land in your thyroid. You get the immune system all aggravated and attacking your thyroid. That is not good. So we got to clear up that digestive system, get the immune system actually not attacking the thyroid. And so, really helping having better immune expression is key. And so we went over a few different peptides there: thymosin alpha 1, BPC-157. Those are really good. BPC is going to help with the gut. Thymosin alpha 1 helping with the immune system. And then week 3 or in phase 2, that's where we're increasing energy, enhancing mitochondrial function, and better hormone signaling. And so some of the peptides we discussed in that last phase was hexarelin, 5-amino-1-MQ. That's great for the mitochondria. MOTS-C is another one that can be helpful. And then methylene blue, that was another peptide that you could utilize in phase 2. So this week, we're going to be jumping into just overall restored thyroid function, optimized pathways, and long-term vitality for your thyroid function, which if you have a good operating thyroid, that's going to help with all the other systems in the body. And obviously with optimal thyroid function, you got to have good organ function, kidney, liver function, because if those are not functioning right, you're also going to have some thyroid symptoms as well. And so it's all works really hand in hand with the body. But so some of the metabolic activation protocol here in phase 2, we're focusing on fine-tuning those thyroid pathways to repair tissue damage. We're going to talk about optimizing cellular communication and hormone balance, solidify long-term thyroid health. And then we'll go over some of the peptides specific to helping with the thyroid, which is BPC-157 and Thymosin Beta-4. And this is in general helping with the thyroid, but helping with those thyroid pathways. If you think about the pathway of the thyroid, you have the hypothalamus to the pituitary that's sending a signal to your thyroid, that thyroid stimulating hormone. So if you think about that pathway, it's really super critical to have good hormone response. And so you have along with that, your thyroid hormone, once it gets created, it goes through your liver and your digestive system. And so if you want to have good thyroid hormone, you need to really take care of that liver. And that's, we talked about the detox, some of the detox protocols and the right supplementation and diet. We'll kind of cover that in a couple slides as well. As well as, if your liver will also help convert your T4, which is kind of your crude oil, into T3. So that's your T3 is like the high octane fuel. So a lot of people will have some thyroid symptoms. They'll feel energy malaise, lack of energy malaise, and just a lot of brain fog. And if you don't have, and you look at the labs and maybe the thyroid function looks like, hey, this seems to be going okay. But then you look at the liver, and it could be a breakdown in the liver. It can also be in the digestive system. So you have, those are all key factors when optimizing your thyroid hormone levels and communication. So some of those peptides. So one of the number one peptide that we like in this instance, because it helps with so many of those aspects, is BPC-157. So you can do this subcutaneous injection. sometimes capsules. And this is an interesting diagram because if you definitely want to do subcutaneous, if you're trying to help with the thyroid function, capsules can be really helpful too, because they will get into the digestive lining, and they can, your digestive lining already is really producing BPC, but if it's not producing enough, this is where you're really supplementing that, and it helps with healing up that gut lining, so it can repair that leaky gut when you have one of those gap junctures that gets inflamed and busted open. That can be caused by chemicals, toxic foods. Glyphosate's probably one of the biggest components there, as well as pharmaceuticals like your NSAIDs. Those create a lot of digestive inflammation. And so you want to be very aware of what you're putting into your gut, so you can heal it up. So, you got to avoid those things. That's going to reduce inflammation with BPC, as well as enhance tissue repair in the thyroid gland, because BPC, once it gets into your bloodstream, it will go throughout the body and really help with different optimal levels of healing in each of the bodies. And it's similar to the other peptide that we're going to talk about here, which is Thymosin Beta-4. So Thymosin Beta-4, one of my favorite things, this is one of my favorite peptides. They're all my favorite, let's be honest. But I really like this one because it can help with muscle soreness. So that promotes tissue regeneration, improves vascularization, reduces fibrosis in the thyroid. Like, really dynamic from a peptide standpoint. And especially if you're just starting to work out, and that really achy soreness that you feel, if you get some doses of Thymosin Beta-4, really reduces that, in a lot of cases helps just crush that delayed onset muscle soreness, or known as DOMS. But yeah, it can help with that recovery process from a workout, but also recovery from thyroid damage, inflammation. It's really going to help create vascularity across the cells and across your tissues, and that's going to help immensely, especially if you have fibroids or fibrosis in the thyroid. It can help with removing those or reducing those as well. So really dynamic. So you got kind of your two main peptides in this phase. BPC-157, it's going to help repair gut lining, reduce inflammation, really help enhance tissue repair throughout the body and the thyroid. And then you have Thymosin Beta-4 that's going to help promote tissue regeneration. So it's also going to improve vascularity and reduce fibrosis in the thyroid. So really, really good peptides for the thyroid. And then the next protocol would be the plasma renewal therapy. And I know some of you are going through this. If you haven't done the plasma renewal, reach out to the office. I think this is a big game changer. This is you do a subcutaneous injection once weekly. And what it is, it's umbilical cord plasma taken from scheduled C-sections. Same way that we get our stem cells, we're able to utilize the plasma from the cord blood and actually inject that subcutaneously. And this cord plasma is really amazing at helping calibrate the immune system and hormones, and your mitochondrial system. Also really helps clean out some of the toxicity in the blood. And so you get this like brand new plasma, this brand new blood in your cells, in your body, which really helps with clean cells, cleaner mitochondria, cleaner cellular expression. And that just enhances those peptides abilities, but also really helps enhance how your immune system's functioning and how your body and blood, your body's detoxing essentially with that cord plasma. And so that's going to help assist with the liver and the kidneys. They're not having to filter out so much because they just got kind of this nice oil change for your blood. It's a really kind of ugly analogy, but hopefully you guys like that. And so kind of these three things to kind of top off what you're doing for your thyroid, they can really help maximize that thyroid function and ability to production. So nutritional guidelines. So now if you kind of remember in the last this is rewinding to the last phase, phase 2. We're really focusing on anti-inflammatory diet, mitochondrial support diet, ketogenic esque. Don't want to say like be strict ketogenic, but a little bit lower carb, really, good, healthy greens and veggies are still important, but just on the lower carb side, moderate protein, higher fats. Now in phase 3, we're moving into more of balanced macros. So transitioning to more of Mediterranean style food. So, it's whole grains that are organic, not glyphosate, especially if you're in Europe, those are going to probably be a little better. Be smart and careful with what you're doing with getting those from good sources, wild caught fish, olive oil, some good omega-3s and fats, and antioxidant-rich fruits and veggies. Continue to avoid gluten and dairy, especially if you have different autoimmune issues. But if you notice like brain fog after eating gluten, things like that, definitely be aware of that. The hardest thing, especially if you're in the US, anything with gluten, even if it's really, really organic, it's really tough to get away from glyphosate. The best way, if you're going to have like some forms of gluten, would be like a sourdough bread that's been fermented. It breaks down the gluten protein. Your body can handle it a little better. Obviously, you want to find that from really good sources. My wife has become just an amazing sourdough bread maker, and I love it. I have to be very smart and strategic on how often I eat it. Otherwise, I'll just snarf a whole loaf down and I'll be another 60 pounds in a week. So I have to be smart there. But yeah, obviously too much gluten and wheat and grains, you're going to create more inflammation. So be smart there. Those good quality proteins, fats, those will really help. So on the supplementation side, you have ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, very adaptogenic herb, really helps with thyroid function and production. Another one we don't have listed on here would be like cordyceps 3 or the cordyceps. It's a mushroom that can be really anti-inflammatory and help with the immune system, just calming down some of the immune system. And that's a great adaptogen mushroom. And then NAC or N-acetylcysteine, taking that for support, that supports your glutathione production and antioxidant defenses. And so, if you think about your methylation pathway and the cell, if you're, if you're able to break down your B vitamins there, you're going to create better, cleaner glutathione versus if you have poor methylation pathways, not good like methylated B vitamins or B vitamins, you're going to create more exhaust, which that's homocysteine. So you're going to create more inflammation. So N-acetylcysteine really helps with that process. So creates a cleaner pathway there. So you have much better glutathione production. Vitamin B complex, really good. Make sure you're getting good quality B complex, and then omega-3 fatty acids. So going back to the nutrition guidelines with some of the fish, oils, and then you can supplement here with a good omega-3. Reduces inflammation, supports cell membrane. Overall, just a really helpful supplement. All right, so just to kind of summarize how this is phase 3 of the thyroid optimal thyroid function protocol. So here the weekly protocols for each phase. You're going to do BPC-157 and Thymosin Beta-4. So those are you're going to do those on like daily or twice weekly, a few times a week at least on the Thymosin Beta-4 and BPC-157. Plasma renewal. These are, that's a typo, they're weekly sub-Q injections. And so, this is your weekly oil change, really cleansing the blood, everything there. And then, you have your diet plan, your nutritional guidelines, Mediterranean style diet, getting good whole foods that aren't processed, broken down in a package, throw those away. Really focus on good, clean protein, wild-caught fish, oils, good antioxidant-rich fruits and veggies. Cruciferous vegetables, great. With cruciferous vegetables, this is really critical when it comes to your thyroid function, is you got to lightly cook those. So you either steam them. The best way is like just a little bit of water, steam, and you can cook your veggies in a little bit of water, and then you put the fats on them after. That's going to reduce carcinogens, and fats can turn into trans fats pretty easily if you overheat them. And so what I really like is I'll lightly steam the like Brussels or broccoli, and then you just slather some really good grass-fed butter on them. That's my favorite way. With and some salt and pepper and some seasoning to taste. But that's key, because if you just eat those raw, what those cruciferous vegetables have in them, so your broccoli, kale, cabbage, cauliflower, if you eat those raw, you're actually getting a lot of oxalates, and that will create more inflammation. And actually, we've seen them activate more antibodies, so more of an immune response. So be smart with those. A lot of those cruciferous vegetables, if you think about it, they have like their protecting mechanism. They have a protection mechanism on them, so they're trying not to get eaten. And so if we can lightly cook and it kind of takes that that outer protection off, kind of breaks them down, and so our body can actually absorb the nutrients and really be enriched. All right, so expected results. If we go over this whole protocol, phase 1, the goal there, reduce that inflammation, improve digestive health, stabilize your immune response. And stabilize your immune response is really just creating more immune intelligence within your cells, so they know, okay, this is not a bad guy. This is a bad, this is good guy, bad guy. Versus when they're attacking your thyroid, your immune system is confused and it's attacking your organ or gland, as opposed to focused on fighting off the bad guys. Typically, it's because you get these proteins that are getting lodged in there, and so if you can clean out the blood, really create a clean environment. And I'm speaking very unscientifically, like more trying to simplify this as much as possible. But Yeah, I think that's, when I think about fixing, whether it's the thyroid or different glands, I try to think of it in simple terms. So you just want to clean it out, get an oil change. And then phase 2, you're going to increase energy using, different mitochondrial peptides like MOTC. We talked about 5-amino-1-MQ, amazing. And you'll notice your energy level goes up, you feel better. And a lot of that's having to do with that better thyroid hormone signaling. And all while, following the nutritional guidelines, very low inflammatory diet. So you're not creating more breakdown or more inflammation. So, and that's going to help with the liver function, kidneys, and they're going to be able to handle what's going on in the body very well. And then phase 3, as we talked about, we're going to have restored thyroid function, optimized pathways, and long-term vitality. So this is obviously this is your template for thyroid, and then everyone's individual based on, what your labs look like. You want to evaluate and monitor your thyroid labs. Look at TSH, free T3, free T4. Typically, if you go to your traditional doctor is going to have, like TSH and free T4. That's the simplest way to find out if your thyroid's functioning optimally or not functioning right, is that's measuring the signal from your pituitary gland to your that's your thyroid stimulating hormone. So that's like the measurement from your pituitary to your thyroid. And then if you think about free T4, is once all the T4 has gone through your body, it's the signal that's sending to the pituitary saying, hey, I have X amount of T4. And so if that number is too large, then the pituitary is going to say, hey, slow down. We got too much in here. Or if it's too short, the pituitary is going to say, oh, we speed up. We got to get more. We got to get more. And so that's the only thing that traditional labs are measuring. Whereas if you can look at your T3 levels, your free T3 levels, and your reverse T3, as well as your antibodies, what that's measuring is it's looking at, in the digestive system, in the liver, how is your thyroid hormone getting converted? Is there some imbalances there? So we can identify liver and digestive issues even without, running liver enzymes. Sometimes your liver enzymes won't be extremely elevated, but you still have some liver stagnation. And so that gives us some cues. Okay, we got to clean those systems out. And then if you have elevated antibodies, that's an autoimmune, typically autoimmune related, where your immune system's attacking, or it has these antibodies saying, "Hey, let's kill the thyroid." Essentially, they think it's a virus or a bacteria, and so you gotta. That's where it's really critical to clean out the system, get the immune system intelligence level up, so you retrain it, essentially. And so that is your Health Accelerator session tonight. Hopefully you guys learned some cool things about thyroid, optimal thyroid function. Over this last couple weeks, we've been going through each of these different phases between assessing your thyroid, reducing your, phase 1, going into the strategy if you have a thyroid issue, how you can resolve it, all the way to achieving vitality is what we went over today. And so thank you guys. So your challenge here this week is really want to see, if you haven't done a little bit of thyroid assessment, get some really comprehensive thyroid labs. Let's look at, let's get some labs going. It's a brand new year, brand new you. If you've recently had your labs done, go and look at where your thyroid function is. And then if you're working with one of our providers, ask him a question. Hey, what are we doing for my thyroid? I noticed my TSH isn't where it needs to be, or maybe I have elevated antibodies. That would be probably the most critical one. And I imagine the team has a strategy for that, but you can understand it better. And that's what makes health fun, is if you actually understand the strategy and the tactics behind what we're trying to accomplish. So love you all. Hope you have an amazing, amazing week. We will be back next week. We'll have some new content. I believe Reagan will be back. He's traveling tonight. He was just with an amazing group up in Washington State. And so we'll have him back, and we'll let everybody jump off. Thank you. Happy New Year. 2025 is going to be just incredible. I'm really excited about the MAHA movement, making America healthy again. And I hope you guys are too. And we're going to do it one hack at a time. So what I'd ask you guys is share this with any of your friends, family, loved ones, if you think they could benefit from this. One thing that we're going to be rolling out in the next couple of weeks is Avery, one of our health integrator, health advisors, as well as our newest team member, Becky Larazzo. She's one of our health advisors or health integrators. They're going to be putting on kind of our own unique classes on a weekly basis for, obviously with our current active clients, and really training. It'll be a little more interactive, more meeting style on Zoom. So hope you guys are looking out for that and excited about that. If you're part of our community, or if you're a client of ours, if you're currently not a client, you should consider. So reach out to us. Anyways, love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing night and week, and we will see you next time.